Dámy a pánové, dneska si koukneme na drámu ohledně Gordona Ramsayho a hraje si na něco, co není. Můj oblíbený kuchař, na co si sakra hraje, jdem se na to kouknout.
Because of shows like Kitchen Nightmares and Hell's Kitchen, we know that Gordon Ramsay is kind of a jerk.
A to je prostě dráma v televizi, to je takhle vždycky. Takže, jakože Gordon Ramsay je tak trochu jakože horká hlava, ale když dáte v postprodukci, že pum je úplně jako drama hudbičku, tak samozřejmě, že budete vypadat píču z televizi, halo.
Get out of my way!
I'm not in your way!
Go upstairs then! He won't tell me, he's got no balls. Why are you throwing that
Já doufám, že tam teď bude ten stupid štrt sandwich nebo něco takového, co tam bylo.
Because it was on the foot. Shut the fuck up! Missy, come here, you fat mouth little stupid.
Many people attribute
Boler. Ne, dobrý, ale jako OK, trošku se chová jako kot, kámo, ale baví mě to, je to frajer.
Gordon's antics to a fake persona that he displays for entertainment. It's just a character, they say. However, when you consider the violent and abusive life Gordon had to endure, you
Kámo, co to je za kat, halo, co to je za kat?
will understand where his rage comes from. Gordon's father, Gordon Ramsay Sr., was a violent
Tenhle týpek vypadá jako kapitán Vojta. Tady ten frajer, kámo, neříkejte mi, že to není on, neříkejte mi, že to není on do prdele. OK, dobře.
alcoholic who Ramsay described as a hard-drinking womanizer. When his father was drunk, he'd either hit the children or throw things around the house. We had to run for our lives, he recalled. We spent many nights, weekends, hidden in the Department of Health and Social Security rooms. Although his father abused and neglected his children, his mother Helen suffered the most. She was beaten relentlessly, even when she was 7 months pregnant with Gordon's younger sister.
What the fuck?
Gordon and his siblings, Diane, Ronnie, and Yvonne, often sat cowering upstairs in their bedrooms while their mother was subjected to physical abuse downstairs. She often feared one day he might kill her. Gordon was already bigger
Insane.
than his father by the age of 12, but he never fought back. I don't know if I could ever have hit him. We were never big or strong enough to stop him. He had power over all of us. The crazy
A hlavně mentální, kámo, sílu, jestli se tohle někde děje, tak jako to řekněte, tohle se nemá umlčovat, sakra. Jako na druhou stranu, když žiješ v takové jako domácnosti od day one, když se narodíš, tak jakoby možná ti to do nějaké míry přijde normální, protože ty neznáš nic jinýho, to je fakt odporný, kámo. Mě těch jako slabších skupin, kámo, je vždycky hrozně líto, tohle je fakt hnusné odporný, kámo.
part is, the kids often spent time in child protective services. Police would take their father away during his outbursts. But it was
Jo, a nemohli si něco udělat, sakra, ty se o tom vědělo?
only temporary, as they would eventually return under the same roof as him. They
Tak to je crazy.
could not escape.
To je
To
crazy.
make matters
To je
worse,
crazy.
Gordon's father didn't even support the family financially. His mother was a career nurse, and his father just worked various dead-end jobs. Dad would often have a fallout with someone at work and get fired, and because our home often came with his job, we would become homeless and have to move again. The family lived
To je insane.
in roughly 16 different homes across England before settling in Warwickshire.
Ty jsi narodil, vybral jsi ležit život na hardcore. Máš prostě otce, který nedělá vůbec nic a ještě ti to komplikuje as fuck. Mně je z toho fakt zlé.
As you can imagine, Gordon's education was negatively impacted due to his father's terrorizing presence.
divný.
However, he found a positive outlet detached from his home life through football. He was aggressive on the field and could sprint really fast, which landed him a spot on the Rangers Football Club youth team.
To je Ramsay, kámo.
Gordon claims that he was scouted at one of his games by an Oxford United manager, which led him to being signed to the team. But an Oxford spokesman says otherwise. We don't have concrete evidence that he ever played for Oxford United, and none of those coaches around that time can remember him playing for us. This seems
Co? Jo, dobrý, už chápu.
like a strange thing for Gordon to lie about, but nevertheless, football was a major passion of his. It was also around this time that Gordon was finally able to flee his father's abuse for good. His mother told Gordon and his sister Diane that tension in their relationship was worse than ever. She forced them to move out of the house for their own safety. At age 16, Gordon and Diane moved out and got their own flat together in Banbury, located in Oxfordshire, southeast England. But at age 19, Gordon's dreams of being a football player were destroyed, which was the best thing that would ever happen to him. After suffering a serious knee injury, Gordon enrolled at North Oxfordshire Technical College to study hotel management. During this time, he worked as a commie chef
Jo, takže nemohl hrát fotbal, protože teda měl problém s kolenem. OK, chápu.
at the Roxton House Hotel. The commie chef, otherwise known as a junior chef, is at the bottom of the food chain, literally. Most kitchen brigades are organized similarly to the military. Auguste Escoffier is credited for coming up with this hierarchy system while serving as a cook in the French military in the 1800s. Kami chefs help ensure that a kitchen's operations run smoothly. They perform cooking, cleaning, delivery, and other support duties as instructed by the chef de partie. After progressing through the ranks and becoming
Já myslím, že prostě přijdou na vaří jídlo a ne, že tam mají, kámo, nějakýho pavouka. What the fuck?
the sous chef, Gordon ran the kitchen and 70-seat dining room at the Wickham Arms until he started a sexual relationship with the owner's wife.
Let's go, frajer. Gordon Ramsay docela bake.
I slept with the boss's wife because she made, a go for me. I mean, trust me, what 19-year-old chef, fit as a fiddle, is going to say no to a stunning 33-year-old wife of your boss?
Ne, jako WTF, já bych teda řekl, ne, jsi dement, je to tvoje práce, je to tvoje kariéra, kámo. Jo, vyspí se s ženou, vole, tvýho šéfa, však dobrá práce. WTF.
So yeah, he got fired. However, his experience would land him his first job at a Michelin star restaurant, and his first
OK, tak tohle je W, dobře, tak to bych se s tou ženou vyspal samozřejmě taky. To by byl ještě takový jakože dezertík nakonec. Shit, ty si vyspíš ženou z tvýho šéfa a místo toho, aby tě život nějak potrestal, tak ti, hej, dobře, tak tady jdi pracovat do michelinské restaurace, seš jebrutej, kámo.
Appearance on television. Michelin stars are basically the highest badges of honor for restaurants.
Já to vysvětlím. Michelin, znáte všechny panáčka Michelina, tady tenhle frajer. Někde v 18. 19. století, tak to byly prostě dva bratři Michelinové, tak oni dělali kola od aut a nikdo je ale nekupoval, tak oni udělali guide restaurací, který byly záměrně daleko od sebe, aby jakože bohatí lidé museli autem. Když prostě michelinská restaurace, OK, koupíme si třeba pneumatiky od Michelinu, byla to taková jakože reklama trochu a vlastně takhle legit si postavili svoji pneumatikovou firmu zpátky na nohy. W thinking takzvaně.
Restaurants. The stars are part of the Michelin Guide, which employs thousands of inspectors who travel around the world sampling the finest cuisine.
Jo, a teď je to tak, že prostě týpci najdou nějakou super restauraci, tady máš hvězdičku Michelinu.
These highly trained inspectors will visit hundreds of restaurants a year in order to identify the best of the best. Michelin inspectors are always anonymous to ensure they don't receive preferential treatment during their meals. Inspectors book, dine, and pay for their meals in the same way as an average guest. Once each
to jsem třeba nevěděl, to je cool. Takže to je něco jako jako v Ratatouilleovi.
Restaurant in consideration has been inspected, the Michelin Guide director meets with the worldwide teams for what is called star sessions, where the rating of each restaurant is debated. These sessions often last days, with each establishment considered one by one until a unanimous decision is reached. Restaurants can earn a maximum of 3 stars. Michelin quantifies 1 star as being high quality cooking worth a stop, 2 stars for excellent cooking worth a detour, and finally, the prestigious 3 stars represent exceptional cuisine worth a special journey. Ramsay honed his...
Já jsem podle mě ani nikdy nebyl v michelinské restauraci. Nebo já jsem to asi nikdy nevyhledával, ale mně prostě přišlo vždycky, že to je prostě za miliony dolarů, kámo, nějaký restaurace. Jestli jste někdo byli, tak mi napište, protože je to drahé? Mělo by to být drahé. Když máš restauraci s hvězdou Michelinu, kámo, tak bych se pišnil tím a jako finančně bych se obohatil.
Culinary skills at Harvard.
Ale zašel bych. Mám v Česku nějakou michelinskou restauraci.
In Wandsworth. This is where a legend was created. The executive chef at Harvey's was Marco Pierre White, who is not only world class, but also considered to be the first celebrity chef. Marco has been rumored to have somewhat of a temper. He has admitted that sometimes he shouts and screams in the kitchen. Gordon says that Marco was brutal, allegedly one night even making a young Gordon Ramsay cry. However, this side of him is rarely seen when the cameras are on. On TV, he's more of an intense savage that struck fear into you without saying or doing too much.
No, I didn't make Gordon Ramsay cry. He made himself cry. That was his choice to cry.
What the fuck?
Right.
After working at Harvard,
That was his choice to cry, jebetí. Já jsem nerozplakal, on se rozplakal sám, však si můžeš vybrat, ne? Budeš brečet nebo ne? Já nikdy.
for 3 years, Ramsay became more equipped to handle the fast-paced and high-pressure trade of fine dining. He also probably learned that sometimes to run a kitchen you need to be aggressive, loud, and dominant. The 1988 documentary Marco shows a behind
Když jste takové jako ve vedoucí pozici, tak musíte určitě mít jako asertivní dovednosti a je to těžký vždycky jakože se držet jakože v rukách a neřvat, ale je to stresující prostě být ten hlavní, kámo, protože musíte mít na pracovišti respekt. Ale někteří lidi to třeba hodně přehánějí a pak už jsou spíš jako koty.
behind the scenes look at the chaotic life in the kitchen. Gordon is seen multiple times throughout the documentary calm, listening, learning, and getting a taste for what it was like to be on the big screen. Sadly, his family was still suffering. Gordon's sister Diane decided to return home to live with their parents. One day, their father threw scalding hot milk over their mother, who was in bed, punching and dragging her downstairs. Diane got her mother to the hospital, where they were referred to Women's Aid, a charity in the United Kingdom aimed at ending domestic violence against women and children. The pair found refuge in one of the charity's shelters for 6 months and got help sorting out Helen's benefits. Her husband had never given her any money, likely a tactic he used to ensure she would never leave. Helen and Diane went
Teď ona zarabala peníze, ne? Kámo, horký mlíko, kámo. Paní Remzová, ty vole. Jestli vám na nic, zavolejte mi, panu Žabákovi, já se vás postarám. Já se postarám. Já mu dám na frňák tomu, vole, Ramsaymu, zasranýmu, starýmu, vole, Švábovi.
went home to find the flat ransacked.
Ne, já si to nedělám srandu, to je fakt insane, ale to je insane. Domácí celý, kámo, fuj. Ble.
And a postcard on the mantelpiece warning, "One night when you're least expecting it, I'll come back and finish you all off."
Člověk, který tohle napíše, ty pičo, nemůžeš na něj jakože legit ho jako zavřít, dát mu nějaký restraining order a jakože už to je nevězení tohle, že to je vyhrožování jak svině, WTF, jako z historií toho, že na té doslova každou noc si mládí, vole, a hází na tebe horký mlíko. Co to je za srač do prd? To je fakt insane tenhle týpek, WTF. Nechápu, proč do prd není ještě vyvězení.
Moment onward, the Ramsay family was finally free of Gordon James Sr.
Počkej, co ještě, no?
Peace warning, "One night when you're least expecting it, I'll come back and finish you all off." From that moment onward, the Ramsay
Takže ho teda zavřeli.
family was finally free of Gordon James Sr. By his mid-20s, Gordon had
Hezky, kámo, on to ani nevysvětlí. Takže asi ho zavřeli teda, chápu správně.
already built a resume that would land him jobs working alongside world-class chefs in France, and then as head chef at La Tante Claire in Chelsea, a 3 Michelin star restaurant. However, Marco White would present something that would stamp Gordon's legacy permanently. In 1993, Marco offered Gordon a head chef position and a 10% share in the Rossmore. The restaurant was renamed Aubergine and achieved Michelin star status 14 months later. Gordon's cooking was so highly sought after that the restaurant had a waiting list of up to 6 months and bills averaging about €75 per person. By 1997, Aubergine won its second Michelin star. Despite the restaurant's success, a dispute began between Ramsay and the business owners, who wanted to expand and turn Aubergine into a chain restaurant. Gordon didn't feel he could duplicate his cooking as a formulaic concept like most chain restaurants do. After many years of disagreements and legal battles, Ramsay announced his departure and handed in his notice. The entire staff at the restaurant followed Gordon and participated in a walkout. Ramsay later referred to it as Black Friday. He described the decision to set out on his own as the most important day of my entire cooking career, the most important decision of my life. Gordon decided to purchase and open his own restaurant called Restaurant.
Ok, takže prostě chtěli si udělat nějaký chain jako McDonald's, nemyslím si, že to zvládnou, takže všichni prostě půjdeme pryč a uděláme si nový restaurant, hurá, hurá, a všichni šli za ním, jak myšičky za tím. Jak se jmenuje ten týpek? Krysař. Jo, co to, proč ukazuju palec nahoru, kámo? WTF? Sorry, čete.
Called Restaurant Gordon Ramsay in Chelsea in 1998. The journey of opening his business venture paired with a television documentary series called Boiling Point. The series only had 5 episodes, but gave viewers a raw, behind-the-scenes look at Ramsay and his element. Along with his cooking methods and expertise, he tried to impress food critics in hopes of a 3rd Michelin star. Although the series was short-lived, Ramsay's vulgar language and hostile nature were on full display, and he quickly became known for his loud mouth and short temper in the kitchen. This guy got fired for drinking water.
Standing in front of the fucking glass, drinking fucking water. In front of all the customers. Fuck off!
Počkej, co?
And he quickly became known for his loud mouth and short temper in the kitchen. This guy got fired for drinking water.
Standing in front of the fucking glass, drinking fucking water. In front of all the customers. Fuck off!
But even with
Cože?
these explosive moments, it still feels tame compared to what would come many years later. After establishing his first restaurant, Ramsay expanded and opened several restaurants across the United Kingdom. He earned his 3rd Michelin star in 2001, making him the first Scottish chef to achieve the feat and securing him a lifelong legacy at the age of 35. His second TV show portrayed Gordon in a much more genuine and humble way. Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares was a 2004 show where Gordon visited failing restaurants and helped to improve the establishments in just 1 week. He then revisited the restaurants months later to see how each business fared in his absence. Kitchen Nightmares
Tak to naše ano šéfe, ne? Nebo jak se to jmenuje?
was a huge commercial hit. Ramsay initially came off as quite
To je dobrý, protože je to dobrý nápad, je to fakt dobrý nápad hlavně.
relatable. He was very candid but still supportive in a positive manner and genuinely wanted to see businesses succeed. He used his time wisely, learning the staff's strengths and weaknesses and the town's culture surrounding each restaurant. He also used collective plural pronouns like we when describing each restaurant and what needs to be done, fully integrating himself as a part of the team and part of the solution, not merely operating as an onlooker giving directions. This Ramsay made for far more compelling television and left viewers excited about the food and entrepreneurship. The more
To
poised
je velký shoutout hlavně pro ty podniky však. To je insane. Actually dobrý nápad.
and calculated attitude carried on to his next
Ne,
televised
jakože teď jako zpětně v roce 2025 na to koukáme, říkáme si však to je tu už dávno, hej, ale jako vymyslet tohleto, jako celý ten koncept, tomu dám W, že to je fakt insane, to je že fakt super nápad.
culinary show
Tam máš emoce, tam máš jakože nějaký jako progres, nějaký cíl, nějaký jakože nějaký troubles, řešíš problém, to je úplně skvělý, kámo, actually skvělý nápad na show.
Kitchen UK. The show created a competition between two kitchens featuring 10 aspiring chefs competing for a prize of 250,000 euros, money that the winner could use to start his or her own restaurant. They were split into two teams of 6, one celebrity chef along with 5 members.
Ingredients and just look at the difference. Now, what are we going to do? Right, can we taste now, please? That is the worst risotto. Oh, man, I give up. That
No dude, Tyron to jde prdele, kurva.
is shocking.
No, I'm trying my hardest, chef. Oh man, what?
Due to the show's success, Gordon worked with the Fox network to produce an American version with the same name. First premiering in 2005, Hell's Kitchen US followed a different format. This is where Gordon's asshole persona was formed.
Jo, no, my koukáme, vole, na video o tom, že Gordon Ramsay je kokot. Teď je 10 minut glazování, dobrý, sorry. Pardon.
Now, fuck off back on your section. Why? Because I'm not a quitter. You're not a quitter. You're not a fucking cook either. Move your fat
Ten boler.
ass. You donkey! Hey! You're fucking useless, you know that. You're cooking in a burnt pan, you fucking dick! Fucking donkey! Don't let him cook a fucking thing!
The US version of Hell's Kitchen surpassed the UK version in popularity. The show was significantly more dramatic than any of Gordon's UK shows, with the addition of loud sound effects, dramatic music, rapid jump cuts, and exaggerated drama.
Jaj, nejlepší zvuk na světě. Když když otevřu komentářovou sekci na Žabákovi, ty jsou samý děti, kámo, tak si pustím tohleto. Insane. Nejlepší zvuk na světě, actually.
Your special has now become not very special, thanks to dick face there. Hurry up, Giovanni!
Yeah, but I'm not dick face, chef.
Yeah, say that again?
I said I'm not dick face,
Yeah, you're
chef.
pissed, are you?
I'm not.
Look at me in the eyes! Not as pissed as I am! You fucking are! Donkey!
It became so excessive that people
Ty píčo, kámo. Ty píčo, to je insane.
online started accusing the producers of staging fake drama for more entertaining television. People also claimed that the editors use editing techniques to make certain contestants appear as poor performers to justify their
Ty vole, fakt? Cože? Že prý editor v postprodukci něco upraví, by to bylo víc dramatické? No to snad ne.
elimination later.
To jsem
The most
nikdy
obvious
neviděl.
example was the case of Amanda Tech Moore, who you can clearly see cooking here, but the only problem is that she was eliminated 3 episodes earlier. Essentially, they're using old footage of contestants, for example, Gordon yelling at someone in episode 1, to justify their elimination in
Jo, takhle, aha, tak to už neču, no.
episode 10, even
to
if they
na
didn't
nic.
do anything wrong that day, since the show is not premiering live and viewers wouldn't be able to notice the difference. Another major controversy in regards to the show being staged occurred when contestant Joseph Tinnelly from season 6, during one elimination round, angrily confronted Ramsay, challenging him to a fight, before being escorted off the set.
You want a f***ing jacket? You want to talk some shit? Let's go step outside, motherfucker. I ain't here for that, dog.
The incident drew criticism
Jo, tak to byl nejvíc, vole, Vito Scaletta appearance, který jsem kdy viděl. Takový kámo fakt nasranej Ital.
from viewers suggesting the scene was potentially fake and conducted to add more drama and tension to the show to increase viewer interest. However, it was this
No, že? On se ani kámo nepohnul, ten týpek.
Outside, motherfucker.
Ten ho prostě po aura farmil.
I ain't
Takže byl, že podešel k němu na metr.
here for that, dog.
To je insane.
add more drama and tension to the show to increase viewer interest.
Myslíte, že moje reakce jsou akorát, to je insane. Já bych si měl asi přečíst slovník.
However, it was this tumultuous persona that may have ruined his UK television presence.
Okay, this was asked for, well done. And this person is sending it back.
And let me just tell you something. You know, in terms of well done, look, we praised it. What is that?
That's well done.
That is well done, so stop bringing me shit!
What about this, Gordon?
That is well done!
What about this?
It's well done!
Without the added sound effects and intense music, Gordon's screaming looks less performative, which made viewers think he was actually just a jerk. But the USA audience couldn't get enough of Gordon. He was a rock star. He worked with the Fox network again to produce an American version of Kitchen Nightmares. First premiering in 2007, Kitchen Nightmares US followed the exact blueprint as the original, as the owners invited Gordon to spend a week with a failing restaurant to revive the business. However, like the US version of Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen Nightmares was more dramatized and featured Ramsay displaying a visibly short temper, regularly yelling profanities and insulting his staff. Gordon once even said the F word 298 times in just 2 episodes. When you saw those two
Už je kámo na ten, to už je na Guinnessovu knihu rekordu.
Kitchen Nightmares condensed into one, last year when they had those 298 fucks, I wasn't proud of that. There has come a time when, at the age of 43, I'm getting a bit tired of the foul-mouthed bully chef. In that same interview, Ramsay was adamant in his refusal to pander to elderly British viewers by trying to act like anyone other than himself. So on one hand, he admits he isn't proud of his excessive outbursts. On the other, he isn't just gonna act like a proper lad to please his UK audience. Plus, in 2017, he came out with a show called The F Word, so I don't think he really cares that much. Both versions of Kitchen Nightmares produced 7 seasons and were canceled collectively in 2014. As of September 2021, Ramsay has accumulated a net worth estimated to be around $220 million, with an estimated salary of $225,000 per episode. Gordon typically earns roughly $45 million per year from his media and restaurant business. His shows account for more than 75 hours of programming and more than $150 million in ad sales for Fox, with restaurants in the UK,
Jakože je to frajer, no. Je to frajer. A já s tím, co tam říkal, že nechce být úplně jakože starý šéf jako ostatní, ale přitom není úplně hrdý na to, že za epizodu řekl 250krát slovo fuck. Já si myslím, že akorát v jednu dobu, když takhle jako bouchneš za to, že si prostě takový jako trošku víc, máš takový trošku temper, tak ti to prostě trošku vleze do hlavy a pak se to prostě naučíš, vidíš, že to ty diváci vyžadujou a někdy to prostě přeženeš, to je jasný. Hlavní je v jednu chvíli si fakt říct, jestli to ty nebo ne. A pak prostě na to nějak reagovat, no. Já mu to dám za zlý, já si myslím, že jakože někdy to občas přeženeš, je důležité si prostě včas zastavit, no.
Italy, China, South Korea, and Qatar, his empire has expanded on a global scale. Evidently, being a dickhead pays pretty well. But Gordon is also able to act like this because he has started at the very bottom and grinded for decades mastering his craft. These days, you could see him on TikTok telling people how terrible their cooking is. Whether his rage comes from his
Hele, počkej, dokoukáme, pak něco pustím.
father's abuse or from the perspective of a passionate teacher wanting his pupils to learn, it never gets old seeing Gordon Ramsay absolutely destroy someone's cooking.
Hele, Gordon Ramsay, grilled cheese, je to ono. Čumte na to. To vypadá absolutně příšerně. Ten sýr vůbec nerostal, kámo. WTF? Fuj, kámo. Jako, okay, možná to chutná dobře, ale vypadá to absolutně fuj. Dobře, takže to bude od mě všechno. Co si myslíte o Gordonu Ramsayovi, napište do komentářů. Určitě tady budu mít taky 2 tábory. Dobré, to ode mě vše. Nashledanou.